Okay, I'm going to introduce a great friend of Dr. Paul and the Paul family, a great friend of ours at the Ron Paul Institute, and a personal friend of mine who I hold in the highest regard, a brave truth teller, and that is former Texas gubernatorial candidate and hopefully future Texas gubernatorial candidate, Don Huffines.
Thank you, Daniel. Well, hello, Patriots. Hello, great Patriots. It's great to be in Houston, and what a better opportunity to be here at the Ron Paul Institute. I'm so humbled to really be here. I really am. Well, in April of 21, a young couple went to church in Dallas, Texas. They had their 10-month-old baby with them, and they sat in the far back right-hand corner of that church because they were meeting in the gymnasium, and they had 2 chairs, and they were all 10 feet apart, so nobody could be close to anybody. And the lady, she took her mask off. She didn't come in with it, but she took it off, and the preacher, he walks by the precinct, he says, "You need to put that mask back on." She said, "I'm not going to do that because I don't feel good. You see, I'm pregnant with number 2. I've got morning sickness." Well, they go on, the service goes on, and towards the end of it, they go up and get communion. The couple did, and she's got the baby in her left arm, and they're kneeling and praying in front of the 2 chairs, and she feels somebody tugging on her neck and pulling on her, pulling on the baby. And she turns around and looks up, and there's 3 Dallas policemen standing above her. 3. 1 lady, 2 men. The lady's got her hand on the taser and said, "Y'all both going to jail." And he said, "Why?" "It's because you don't have your mask on." This is in the middle of the service at the end when they had the host of Jesus in their mouth, and they had the sense to pull out their camera and start videoing it. And they talked to police into taking it outside, and they did. And they said, "We're writing you up for trespassing." And they took a picture of the license plate of their car and said that car can never come back in this parking lot again, place they've been going to church for over 20 years on and off. Well, that video went viral. Millions of Americans saw it, and they couldn't believe it. What they really couldn't believe is that it happened in Texas. Well, that lady's my daughter, Deirdre. And that's her son-in-law right there. I mean, my son-in-law, her husband, right over there, James Harrison. And that baby now is almost 3 years old. But I bring that up to tell you that for a reason. If you can lose your liberty in a church and be threatened with jail or to be shot, what's left? Really, what's left? You think your house is safe? You think your business is safe? Churches is always a sanctuary. The biggest tyrants of the world have taken sanctuary in the Catholic churches. But not in Texas, they can't. Well, I think the COVID situation, y'all all know about it. I call it the Wuhan. We lost more liberty over that than we've lost on any other single event in the history of this country. That's debatable, but I think that's the truth. They shut your businesses down. They shut our churches down, our schools. Now, who was responsible for all that?
Governor Abbott.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. He gets a prize. The governor did it. And he forgot one fundamental thing. What is the fundamental role of government? As Dr. Paul will tell you, because I keep it on my wall from Dr. Paul. The fundamental role of government is always to defend your God-given liberties. Your liberties are God-given. They don't come from the government. That's something that it's only unique basically for the United States, and he decided he was God and he's going to take away your liberties. Well, in March of January of 20, as Daniel was saying, I was paying attention to the Wuhan virus. I was looking at the videos online from China and things like that. And then originally I was a little concerned, but after I realized how much we were being lied to, when they came out on TV and he said this, I think it was Fauci, he said, oh, we got this problem. It's a virus and it's going to spread everywhere. And it came from bat soup in China. I said, bat soup? Can't they think of something better than that? My 4 boys, we homeschooled all of our children, and they were all Eagle Scouts, and my 4 boys were all the Eagle Scouts. I was a Scoutmaster. I said, we always boil your soup before you eat it, you know. I thought, nobody's going to fall for that joke. They did. They did. Look, there's no question the virus is man-made. The only real proof that you're never going to hear about is who let it out. It's obvious. The circumstantial evidence speaks for itself. They were after Trump, and they did it. We have all the biological warfare labs over here in the United States of America, so you can just connect the dots. But what Daniel's saying to you is that they lie. They don't just lie a little bit, they lie all the time. The press, unfortunately, you really can't really believe anything you read now, whether it's you like what you read or you don't like what you read, because now you're going to see that the government really does control mainstream media. And it's not just something they've done for the last 3 years, it's something they've done for the last decades, if not forever. This is a concentrated program by the government. As a patriot, you don't just have the authority to question government. You've got an obligation to question government. It is your duty to question government and to question media every chance you get. Well, patriots, it's been an honor to support Congressman Dr. Ron Paul. It really is. I've been a fan of his. I was one of 2 delegates to the National Convention in 2008 when Dr. Paul was trying to change the world. We had a lot of alternates. I was excited to see him run for president when he ran on the Libertarian Party. Well, let me tell you, this man is not just a politician or former politician. He's a prophet, a true prophet. And he has done more to change the dynamics of the political spectrum than any man in modern history, bar none. And I tell you that for a reason, because it's an honor to be here with him. Patriots, the march to liberty is a long march. It's never ending. It doesn't end because evil is involved, and evil never sleeps. It never gives up. It never takes prisoners. But the path has never been clearer, because now people have awakened. They've awakened to the fact that government is lying. How do we prevent the next COVID shutdown? I'll tell you how. It's not only to get the right people in office, but it's to let your voices be heard. To wake up the sheep that are sleeping. Wake them up to the joys of liberty. Wake them up to the glory of the Constitution. Wake them up any way you can. Get them on the streets. When I led the protests in front of the governor's mansion in May and April of 20, do you know how many people showed up? 200. 150, 250. We marched around the governor's mansion demanding him to open up the state of Texas. He had no authority to take away our liberty. 200 people came. That's it. But not anymore. You know, they shut us down not just to get rid of Trump or whatever. They shut us down so they could see how you and the people will respond. You know why J6 people are in solitary confinement? They're not in there to get punished. They're in there to see. They put them in there so they can see how you will respond to the fact that they are in solitary confinement. They are being tortured. They are political prisoners. They want to know how you're going to react. No one in the government, in the federal government, in the CIA, none of them thought that you would ever tolerate a shutdown. And to make you wear a stupid mask on your face, a diaper, you're like, well, nobody's going to do that. But they did. Now what's next? You think that's the only thing they're going to come up with? Seriously? Seriously. Even though the last 3 years have been a terrible challenge for our liberty, patriots, buckle up your seatbelts. You haven't seen anything yet. But our greatest days are coming because they've overplayed their hand. Our liberty is coming. It's a new dawn. And it's because we're going to wake up the sheep. We're going to bring out our swords of liberty and we're going to cut the chains of government. And it's because of you guys. God bless you and God bless Texas for liberty and prosperity always. Thank you. Thank you, patriots.